Parsippany Troy Hills School District. On April 7th of last year, started out as a regular day for her and turned into a horrific day. She was out running when a car crashed into her. She now advocates for safe streets and will share her experience and recovery. Annamarie.
Good morning. My name is Annamarie Russo, and I'm the victim of a road traffic accident. You have heard many stories today concerning others who have lost loved ones in traffic fatalities. Each one a sign that there must be a change. I'm sorry. As a fortunate survivor, my story is about the loss of sense of security and safety, the loss of mobility, and the loss of my former self. My story starts on April 7th, 2020. It was a bright, warm, sunny spring day. I frequently jogged after work, an activity that was a stress reliever for me after a long virtual work day. I was waiting at the crosswalk, looked both ways thoroughly, and finally started jogging across the street. I was about 3/4 ways across the street when I felt a heavy force hit my body from behind. A driver in an SUV, a vehicle that I later learned weighs more than 3,500 pounds, had made a left turn at a green light into the crosswalk where I was jogging. Upon impact, I broke my femur, my pelvic bone, my pubic bone after falling to the hard asphalt floor. The driver continued to drive forward and ran me over, which caused heavy lacerations on my liver. In that moment, everything went dark. I miraculously woke up, confused and certainly numb. People were running towards me, surrounding me, touching me, asking me questions in the middle of a pandemic. I stared at them all in confusion. What had happened? I thought to myself, quickly searching the faces around me. I was in complete and utter shock, but the question came to me, had I been hit by a car? My entire body was numb. I thought I was paralyzed from the waist down. My head pounding. As I reached to the back to feel it, I also had blood on my fingers. I had blood on my clothes. I had blood on my shoes. My town came together on that day, a day that I'm forever grateful for. Familiar and unfamiliar faces stopped their cars, directed traffic, calmed me, and assisted me as I waited for the cops and ambulance to arrive. I'm extremely fortunate to have survived such a horrible pedestrian accident. This accident gives me daily reminders of not only everything I've lost, but what I'm truly grateful for. It's very interesting, the word loss, and how it has many definitions. The one that resonates with me the most in my situation is the act or fact of losing something. My pedestrian accident has taken away my sense of security and safety in a town that I grew up in. On days that I'm able to walk, my walking route has completely changed. I barely cross the street anymore. I walk in a circle within my neighborhood. On days where I feel like I might be able to handle crossing the street, I take a deep breath, only to soon realize that there is another speeding car past me. I immediately have a rush of emotions that takes me back to the day of April 7th, a day that's forever ingrained in my brain. The second type of loss is the loss of mobility. After 2 major surgeries and 2 invasive procedures, I'm still having problems with my knee, my femur, my hip joint, and my back. I wake up with these pains every single day, pains that I wish had never existed. I'm still completing endless hours of physical therapy, doctor's appointments, and at-home remedies. These pains that limit my day-to-day activities, my fitness hobby, and ultimately take away aspects of my old normal self. This pedestrian accident has laid upon me one of the most difficult internal struggles, the uncertainty of whether the lost parts of myself will ever come back. Don't get me wrong, I'm working tremendously hard to get back to my normal self every single day, the normal self that ran 5 miles a day, the normal self that was pain-free to and from work, the normal self that hiked as a hobby, the normal self that was confident in walking or running a different route every day and was not afraid to cross the street. I have come to realize that I may have to redefine what my new normal will be, and I'm still processing that. However, my scars serve as a daily reminder of how fortunate I am to have survived and how I must remain thankful despite these setbacks. I will continue to be strong, I will continue to persevere, and I will continue to heal. This is all possible because of the support of my prayers from my mom and my dad, my boyfriend, my friends, my coworkers, and of course, Family for Safe Streets and Vision Zero. I could not have gone through all of the good and the bad days without all of you. This past year and a half has taught me that life is precious and to be grateful for all things big and small. I'm grateful that as terrible as this is, it will eventually be healed. Hopeful. I'm grateful that I have such a huge loving support system behind me. Please remember that we're all worthy of a full recovery, whether it be physical or emotional. I encourage all of you to be kind to yourself, to be courageous, to be patient, and to tell your stories no matter the circumstance. You matter and you are important to others. With that, I conclude with a final phrase that I've said since the very beginning of my pedestrian accident. We will all get through this one step at a time. Let live and let heal. I am thrilled to speak and support Vision Zero and Family for Safe Streets and aid in its mission to effect change on our roads. Thank you.